Teacher Arthur here, and today I'm going to be discussing 5 points that, in my opinion, might make you a better student. Now, this is not only for the traditional student-teacher context within a classroom, but it can also apply to any situation where you are attempting to learn something from someone else, whether it be a skill of some sort or some other kind of information, theoretical or otherwise. So, 5 points that might make you a better student. What are they? So, for starters, number 1, I would say get to know your teacher. Or, in other words, learn how your teacher operates, more specifically. This is a bit different from the sense of the teacher getting to know the students. When a teacher gets to know the students, you want to know the students' preferences, you want to know what they're good at, what their level of knowledge is, what they like, what they don't like, etc. However, for a student getting to know a teacher, you don't need to know those things to any significant degree. But what is helpful is if you know how your teacher operates, how your teacher likes to do certain things, how your teacher likes to deliver the lesson, the type of tasks and assignments they like to give, how they will explain certain things, how they will deal with certain topics, okay, and the order in which they do things. Do they usually explain things in a fun way? Do they do some kind of warm-up activity first? Do they deliver an assignment up front? Do they save that for the end? And does your teacher use any kind of media for their lesson? How do they explain things? So you can get to know this basically by observing. When your teacher is explaining something, and the more you study with this person, the more you will learn how they operate. And once you learn how they operate, that'll bring us to point number 2, which is to anticipate what your teacher might do or say. If you can anticipate what your teacher is going to do or say regarding a specific topic or lesson, you can better prepare for it mentally. So, in other words, if there is very little space taken up by dealing with something unexpected thrown at you by the teacher, you have more mental room for learning and absorbing information. One tip on this would be to first review information you already know about a topic or subject. Just mentally clarify and review in your mind, what do I know about this topic? Now, knowing how my teacher operates, what are they likely to say about it? What aspect of this subject are they likely to focus on? And what type of assignment is the teacher likely to give? Okay, this will make your learning a lot more efficient, and as I said, will open up more mental room for you to absorb information. And part number 3 then would be to ask questions. Okay, the proverbial axiom when it comes to learning: ask questions. There's no such thing as a stupid question, right? Well, maybe sometimes. But in my opinion and my experience, there are 2 main reasons you want to ask questions as a student. And number 1, obviously, is that you want to clarify something. You want more information on something. You're confused about something and you need to ask about it. In which case, you must, because it will be helpful. And the second main benefit of asking questions is that when you ask a question, this better encourages the teacher to enhance the lesson, to give more information than they otherwise would have. Asking the teacher questions, especially a question they weren't expecting or a question they've never had before, will make the teacher think about this topic. Oh, the student asked about this, or the student asked about that. I've never thought of that before. And it makes the teacher see the topic from an angle, potentially, that they have never seen it before. And this might then stimulate a discussion in the class, and a lot of learning can take place in an impromptu discussion like this. Also, when you ask a question, other students are listening. Maybe they had the same question in mind, but didn't want to ask it for whatever reason. Or alternatively, another student may have had a similar or otherwise question in mind, and by asking your question, this has encouraged another student to ask a question which further stimulates the discussion in class, which leads to new information being learned, not only by the students, but probably by the teacher too. So ask questions. It's beneficial, unless your teacher's an idiot. But that's a whole nother story. And then point number 4, regarding assignments and tasks and work given to you by the teacher. It's always good to clarify what the teacher wants from you. So there may be a list of instructions that the teacher gives you regarding an assignment, and using point number 3, you might want to ask questions to make sure you know what to do. But more specifically, what I'm referring to is, what does the teacher want from you? How does the teacher want you to answer the questions or the assignment that they have given you? So the assignment might be to read a paragraph and answer some questions. But how do they want you to answer the questions? Using specific phrases, using specific words. If the assignment is a presentation, there's many ways to present something. How does the teacher want you to present it? In a certain way, using certain types of words, using certain types of media or images. What does the teacher want from you? So what's important about this is not only do you get the assignment correctly done, but you are giving the teacher specifically what they asked for. Now, some teachers are very good at explaining assignments and being clear on what they want from you. However, sometimes some teachers are not too clear on answering or giving instructions on their assignments, and so you need to clarify on this. Also, by getting clear on questions that the teacher wants you to answer and assignments and tasks, you will be handing in an assignment that the teacher is expecting, and this makes it something that is easy to grade for the teacher. The answers are clear, the assignment is presented in the way the teacher wants it, and the likelihood of getting a 100% score is very, very high. And then the 5th and final point would be, always be respectful, always be polite. Whether it is when submitting assignments, making presentations, whether it is when answering questions, whether it is when speaking to the teacher outside of the classroom, always be polite, always be respectful, even if your teacher is an idiot. Even if your teacher is not an idiot, but for some reason you don't like them. Be polite, be respectful. This will also go beyond the classroom into life in general, where being respectful and polite will go a long way in carrying your self-image as a respectful person. All right, so those are 5 general points that I feel can make you a better student in many aspects and in life in general. So just to recap quickly again, remember, get to know your teacher and how they operate. Learn to anticipate what your teacher might say or do regarding the topic or assignment. Ask questions. Get clear on instructions of assignments and get clear about what your teacher wants from you so that you know exactly what to do. Be respectful and be polite. Hope that helps. Until next time, this is my English voice.